There we go. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, no matter what time it is in your part of the world. Welcome to the ASEA Global Expansion Team Zoom. As you know, we start each and every one of these conferences with your wins for the week. And we do that for 10 minutes, and then we hand it over to our guest speaker, who this week is Bart Kotter. So if you've done something great, had some great results this week, or done something to move your business forward, maybe got yourself out of the box, did something that you don't normally do, go ahead and share it with the team. Who would like to start tonight with a win for the week? Don't be shy.
I can, Cindy. This is Elizabeth in Montana, and we had an in-home in Montana, and it was half ladies that have a lot of involvement with horse training and horse lessons and horse boarding, and half figure skating moms. And it was fantastic. They were told that we would have that they could leave for home at 7:30 because, you know, we have lots of snowy weather in Montana. And they stayed until about 10 p.m. and continued to talk about redox and ask lots of questions. And we had asked Dr. Walker to speak briefly, and he did a great job, and they just loved it. So now we're doing all the follow-up, and it's paying off in a big way, and we're really excited about it.
Good for you. So you did an in-home focused on horses.
Well, focused on humans, and then it parlayed into horses.
Humans and horses. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good for you guys. Good way to gather everybody together and talk about redox and for the animals and for the humans. Good for you.
Thank you.
Who else? Who else did something this week to move their business forward? Come on, don't all speak up at once.
I have something.
Yes.
We just feel so very blessed and grateful, especially to God, that we actually advanced 2 ranks this week.
Oh, good for you. So give us more information. From what rank to what rank?
Director 700 to silvers.
Good for you. And what do you attribute that to?
Without a doubt, the team, because we could never do this on our own. The team, it's really growing very rapidly, and we have a lot of very active people, and so it's just really learning to work down deep into depth and making sure they start very quickly right after they place the order, with calling people, connecting with people, and finding out their whys, of course, first. So I'm just still can't quite get my head around that we're silvers now, but maybe it'll eventually show up. But it really matters that we help the team.
There you go. Good for you. 2 ranks. So you must have a lot of people joining your team and a lot of people duplicating what you're doing. You must be setting a good example.
Yeah, there's Kim had to step away because we're helping, I think, get someone else started right now. So you know, it's almost daily now someone's getting involved, if not.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, that's going to be great because Bart's going to talk a little bit about how to really help people find that why, what motivates them to build that business. So it sounds like you're onto that whole theme as well. So good for you, Eric.
There was one lady I did a connect call with today, Cindy. It's so neat I'm talking to you, because at the end of the call, that's why I had to say that she has no idea who you are. She just heard about ASEA. She talks and acts just like you. I can't wait to get you in a meeting to meet her. She's so dynamic and so lively, so energetic. I'm thinking, you sound just like Cindy. I got to get you 2 together.
Oh,
She's
that's
just,
so fun.
yeah, it's great though. You're
Congratulations, Eric. That's so exciting. So exciting. You've got so much momentum on your team. Congratulations. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who else? Who else has moved their business forward this week? What else have you guys done since we visited last week? Who else? Come on.
Cindy, I'll speak up just for a second, or maybe Mary Lynn was going to say something. Mary Lynn Way? Nope. Okay.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
quick, really quick, just something that to share with you. It hasn't borne fruit as of yet, but there were people that I've spoken to quite a few times before in the past, and I called them up and just talked to them about, hey, I totally understand that this isn't for you. I understand that you're so busy, you're as busy as a one-armed paper hanger and things are happening, et cetera. But Cindy and I are going with this full bore. And I know some people that could use this product, or even some people that could that might be interested in just a little bit of extra income on the side that wouldn't hurt their normal business, or if they're stay-at-home moms or something. And she chimed in right away. She says, well, I can think of like 3 or 4 right now. Just send me some information so that, and she wasn't even willing to look at the information before. She said, just send me some information so I know what I'm going to be sharing with them and you, and, introducing you to them. And I was following up with her today, and she said just that she was maxed out today and let's talk on Wednesday. So don't be scared to reach out there. And hey, if you're reaching out and asking for a referral, that's pretty, it's not going to embarrass anybody. It's not going to put you in an awkward position. It doesn't put them in an awkward position. It totally gets them off the hook and leaves them available to say yes, or let me see your stuff so I know what I'm actually sharing with these people. And she seemed kind of excited to help her friends. And I think that's the way we should all be looking at it, that we can help their friends and their friends can help their friends, et cetera. And I even told her, I said, if any of these people that you refer to me end up coming in, we can just start your own business, and I can sponsor them all under you and their people under them, et cetera. And maybe you'd make a little bit of income on the side. She says, I'm just really concentrated on what I'm doing right now. And she and her husband own a very successful business that they started up a couple of years ago. So I totally appreciate that, but I also appreciate that she's seemingly willing to share. So reach out and ask for referrals, and who knows, maybe someone will tell you also that, hey, what about me?
Excellent, Bo. Excellent, Bo. I think Nancy was going to share something. Nancy, do you have something to share?
Hey, I can share something. Nice to see you all. Yes, this weekend we went to like a women's expo thing at a convention center in Daytona. And there was a lady I know from Curves who I actually knew from a previous little venture. And I've been talking to her for over a year and a half. And then I know she's totally busy, and I think she's worn out from she's the only Curves left in the whole county area because they're kind of closed down. But so she texted me last night and said, I want to try it. So that's that quiet persistence, that you feel like you're bugging someone. She hasn't returned any of my calls. And so it was good to see her in person. And I could just tell her after she saw me, because I look a little different than the last time she saw me. And I can tell her, I said, I would not be in this good a shape if I was not on this product. And that's all.
So your persistence paid off.
So hopefully, but progress, yeah.
Good for you. Sometimes people don't take you seriously until, you've dripped on them a couple times. And then, at one point they just, they're ready to listen, and they'll let you know when that point is.
Right.
So good for you. Just gently touching base consistently for a year and a half. Good for you. Good for you. Oftentimes it takes even longer than that. So good for you.
Cindy, I'll speak up here. This is Peg.
Yeah, hey, Peg.
Hi. I had a really wonderful, you always love to have, I have this one new customer who is a network marketing professional, so that's a good thing, but she didn't ever want to take a look at what I had, and finally we got them to take a look, she and her husband. And I love it when she has been diligent about following up with me too. I mean, I see her at church. She goes to my church, so we usually connect at church. But she called me in the middle of this week, and she goes, Peg, I just had to call you and tell you, I'm not having to use my cane. I don't have the pain that I had. And it was just like I woke up and there was that difference, Now, she has been experiencing an increase in energy, but she hadn't seen a diminishment of the pain. And she and her husband do, they're actually were my kitty sitters. I've sung with her in the past, but she and her husband do dog and kitty sitting. So they're out there walking, doesn't matter if there's feet of snow, they're out there doing the work with the animals. And so I'm so excited that it just, and I've seen this happen before, right? I'm sure many of you have, where all of a sudden people haven't seen any results, and then boom, they have it all of a sudden. It just, like the lights go on. It's so fun.
It's great. And it's great you created the kind of relationship where you're both in touch with each other on a regular basis, so you catch it when that happens. So good for you, Peg. Fantastic. All right, guys, we're to the 10 minutes point in the call, so we're going to hand it over to our guest speaker, who's all the way from down under. Bart Kotter has built an incredible business. And so we're going to hand it over to Bart, who's going to talk to us about really helping people find their whys and having conversations with people about what it takes to really build this as a serious business. So Bart Kotter, over to you.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's fun to see so many friends, so many long-term friends. Gosh, I love these webinars where we can kind of gather around the campfire, so to speak, and share some great thoughts and some ideas. And tonight, or today, of course, it's noon here in Australia, but I know it's evening over in the US. I've got some thoughts that I think can really make a huge difference in your business. It certainly has made a big difference for me and my business. And it's about the conversations that we have with people. Bottom line is, one of the most challenging things, one of the most frustrating things is to be, how do I put this? The last thing that you want to do is to spend your time, your effort, your energy with someone who says they're going to run with this, and you pour your blood, sweat, and tears, your heart and soul, all your guts into helping them to succeed, to build your team, and then they kind of don't do anything, or they drop out. That's painful. You don't want that to happen. And so I got thinking, I thought, what are the important things? What are the things that I needed to know before I could really make a decision to do this as a business? What are the things that I needed to know before I could put my heart and soul, before I could put my name, my integrity, my credibility behind this? And I came up with kind of an outline of a conversation that I want to have. Let me just go to a screen share, and I want to share some thoughts with you. So let me just start the slideshow. So there are conversations about commitment, and it's also these conversations really come down to helping people to identify what their why is. Their why is everything. Of course, building a business like this, you're on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster ride. You want to level out that roller coaster ride by having a long-term vision and not basically being completely, emotionally dependent on whether, Bob gets involved with you or Nancy or somebody else. You want to have a long-term perspective. You know that you're going to talk with a lot of people. You're going to realize that you're going to have some ups and downs, but there's some ways that we can eliminate those, that roller coaster, and also how you can really help to bring people into the fold. Because it's easy to talk to people about the product, but how do we talk to people about having that deeper level of commitment and decision-making process? They say, I love Tony Robbins' quote. He says, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And you can be kind of sitting there with one foot in, one foot out, but how long does it actually take to make that decision? I would say that it's in a nanosecond, making that decision. But I want to share with you a conversation that you can have that can help people to get through, to really walk through that door. And, in fact, I even kind of analyzed it. I was invited to come to a fly-in where I listened to Tyler Norton and the executive team present, what ASEA was about. And in fact, as I got analyzing it, I thought, they actually have a similar conversation with how they present when they're talking to key leaders. And I want to lay this out. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. And then I've asked Peter and Marina to kind of do an exercise with me. and how I would have this conversation with a real live person. We're going to have a conversation, and then maybe we'll revisit it, and I'll tell you what I told you, or we'll maybe answer some questions. So the first part is about believing, and that believing is all about the foundation. And that foundation, as I'm going to kind of go through this PowerPoint, is about three things: integrity, stability, and timing. There's things that I needed to know about the company, that I needed to know that it was going to be here for the long haul, that the people behind it had economic, that there was economic stability. Even more importantly, I needed to know the integrity of the people that was there. I needed to know that the people that I was going to associate myself with, the kind of people that I wanted to be in business with. The last thing I wanted to do is to get my friends, my family, the people I care about involved with something that was going to be here today and gone tomorrow. So, and the next thing is the timing. So integrity, stability, and timing. These are the things that really lay the foundation. The next thing is, after we get the foundation down, is about belonging. We all need to be a part of something. Now, I've drawn this out as a house because the first thing when you build a house, you've got to have a very strong foundation. And so that's the key thing. Before I could, like I said, before I could put my heart and soul into this, I needed to know that the foundation is strong. And the next thing was, who are we going to be in business with? This goes from the company, but it also is part of the team. Who's your upline team? Who's your sponsor? Who's the people that you're associating with? This is the team that's involved. So we'll discuss this a little bit in terms of really laying out my commitment. In fact, I love what Bo said in the beginning. Hey, Cindy and I are running with this. We're serious. We're committed. We're looking for people. When you're on a train that's going somewhere, people want to be on it. They're curious. They want to know. That's the thing that attracts other people to you. So it's about the team. It's about doing this together. It's about helping people to, a little bit of the takeaway here. We're doing it with or without you. And then, this is about really locking in the commitment. It's the commitment of where we're going with this. And the next thing is to become. Now, the reason that you put a roof on a house is it's to weather the storm, right? It's, yesterday we had some torrential rains here in Queensland. I can only imagine if we didn't have a good solid roof, it'd be a bit of a disaster. So the become is really about your why. It's your dream. And so if you can help people to get really clear on what their why is, it's going to truly take them through, it's going to really help them to get past any of those challenges and avoid kind of the emotional roller coaster, if you will. So that's really important. Now, this is an exercise or kind of a discussion that you can have to help them to really get clear on what their why is. So that's the outline of where I'm going with this. And let me see. And Peter, are you there? And Fiona, perhaps maybe you could mute your sound there. It's a little bit cutting in and out. And Peter, Peter, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Here we are.
We've got Peter, Marina, and there's Dia there as well. So welcome to the call, and thank you for jumping on and joining me on this. So let me just kind of lay the stage here. Now, let me also clarify that this is a conversation that you could have with someone think of it as an outline of a conversation. You don't have to use the exact words that I'm using. You don't have to use, but it can be a conversation that you can have with, just one second, let me just mute someone, there we go. You can use this conversation literally when you're talking with someone for the first time. You can use this conversation when you're enrolling someone to let them know where they're going. Or let's say if you've been in a place where you're working with someone for a little while and you really want to focus, you really want to get on a push and work with your business, and you're trying to identify, let's see, Fiona, if you could just leave yours muted, that'd be great, thanks. If you can get into a place where you want to really raise that level of commitment, that would be, this is an important time to have that conversation too. Now, in this case, Peter has jumped in, doing some amazing things, by the way. Peter and Marina, and working with Dia, who's there too. To everybody, it's good to see you. But so I'm really excited. In fact, Peter, I was really thinking, and this is really taking a higher level conversation. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have a real conversation right now about where we're going, because Peter and Marina, I just want to tell you that we are so excited about having you on board with us. So excited about where this is going. Melissa and I have made a commitment. We are absolutely taking this thing all the way. And I know that, I know Di is absolutely committed too. She's couldn't have better people to work with. And I just want to tell you that as we're really looking and identifying where we want to focus our time, our attention, our effort, of all the people on our team, you're absolutely someone that I'd really love to spend, really love to see you succeed, and love to focus my time and attention with you. But I just need to know exactly where you're at so that we're on the same page. Does that sound fair enough?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay. So what I want to do, so I just want to have a conversation with you and just tell you that some of the things that I thought of before I could really pour my heart and soul and be 100% committed to building this, there were certain things that I needed to know. And I just kind of want to run this through to make sure that we're on the same page, find out, let you know where the team is and find out if this is right for you or not. Okay. So the first thing that I needed to know was really three things: the integrity of the company, the stability, and the timing of where ASEA is at. So what that looks like to me was, I had a chance to meet the founders. I had a chance to meet the atomic medical physicist, and I could not believe the integrity of these people. I realized that when I heard the story of the Genesis, and I realized that these guys had the integrity to turn down massive offer from large pharmaceutical companies because they wanted to make sure that this was meant for humanity, that it was available to all of us to be able to share and get this technology out to the world. I was really blown away. Not only that, but just to realize their background. I knew that these were the kind of people that I wanted to associate myself with. Just, in fact, I remember I just got goosebumps. I literally had tears in my eyes. I just realized that these were the kind of people that I really wanted to partner with. And the other thing that I thought that was really important was the stability of the company, because I don't know about you, but the last thing I want to do is to be involved with a company that's going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Especially if you get people involved that you care about, people that you love. And so one thing that really impressed me was to realize that, in fact, was to realize that this company was put together by Vertus Norton, who was one of the smartest business minds in the world, and his strength is about strategy, along with Tyler Norton. So the company is basically, they're solid, they're stable, they're debt free. They've been debt free since their first, no long-term debt. Even in their first year, they've had constant growth on growth year after year. But what's more important right now is to realize, look, we've got integrity, we've got stability, but the most important thing, I think, when we've got those things covered, is the timing. And look, they say in real estate, it's location, location, location. But in a business like this, timing's pretty important. And in terms of the growth curve of where we're at, we could not be in a better place. This is a technology that well, for the last 10 years, the company has laid a foundation of developing basically validating the science is the word I'm looking for, validating the science, building the infrastructure. We're in 35 countries. We've got can pay out in multiple countries, multiple languages are supported, and we're really positioned right now for exponential growth. And so the timing could not be better. For all these reasons, that's pretty important. Are those some pretty important things that you'd be interested in if you were looking at really making a decision to do something?
Of course. And I did it the same. I checked the company, I checked the science, and then I thought, oh, I better be hurry.
Yeah, good.
Started, I had made wishes, what I would like to give, only something good. And so I had my wishes, and when this company popped up or came across my way, I knew that's it. So, and I know I can trust my gut feeling. And just later, I had the chance not to see Tyler live, but in the ATOS training, I think in our virtual office, this was like, okay, I was completely right. That's it. If somebody is doing this kind of company, then it can't go wrong. But this was, my point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those things are absolutely critical, because we could have the best product in the world, and quite frankly, I believe we do. But if we don't have some of these other important things, we have nothing. And so those are the things that really help to really anchor it in my heart. Now, the next thing I just want to let you guys know is that we're committed. We're absolutely committed. We've made the decision that we're running with this. We're taking it absolutely all the way, to presidential triple diamond and beyond. And we're so excited about the team, Dia doing this with us and working this together. We're committed. We're taking this all the way. And one of the reasons that I'm excited about working with you guys is because I know your heart. I know that you're just, you're so grounded. I just love working with people. In Australia, we've got the term switched on. And to me, you guys are really switched on. You have a fantastic work ethic. I love how you are with Per, your son. I know your family values are really important to you. I know that you like making a difference in other people's life. And I think that we can have a whole lot of fun working together. Now, I want to just tell you something else. We've made the decision, we're running with it with or without you, but it would be a lot more fun to do it with you than without you, okay? And so, like I said, as we kind of look at this, I know that working together that we can have a lot of fun, we can help a lot of people, and in that process, we're gonna make a lot of money together, okay? And like I said, this may or may not be for you as we kind of look at it. So what I'd like to do is just to kind of dive down a little bit and find out what's in it for you. What your goals and dreams are, because at the end of the day, my goal is to help you to reach your goals. It's not to impose my goals on you. If we help enough other people get what they want, we can have anything that we want. And so truly, it's really about what you want out of it. So this is kind of what we call as the becoming. So as we look at this, this is really, I'm going to do something that, let's see, hang on, let me just mute somebody there. Let's see, can you monitor that, Cindy? Hang on just one second.
Yep, I'm trying, I'll do it, Bart.
Okay, so Peter, I want to give you a magic wand, okay? Now this magic wand, we could look at it, this is a pen with a little diamond on the end of it, or we could use this thing that's got little sparkly things in it. You could use a pencil, it doesn't matter. But I just want you to just imagine that I'm giving you a magic wand through the computer here. And I want you to just imagine that if time and money was not an object, if ASEA was a vehicle that could create anything for you, your family, for your son Per, what would you want out of an ASEA business? If the sky was the limit, what would you want? I'm ready to feel free to jump into.
A long list.
Well, let's just kind of dive into it a little bit. If you could live anywhere in the world, any home anywhere in the world, what's on there? Tell me.
I maybe have 2 or 3 places in the world. Depends on the weather.
Okay.
So it'd be maybe America, Europe, and Australia. That would be fine. And
okay, yeah. I want you to just do a little exercise with me. Marina, you can do this too. If it's helpful to even close your eyes, you can do this. But I want you to just imagine that you're in your dream home, the place where your heart is just soaring. I want you to imagine walking on the back deck of your beautiful home, and I want you to just take a deep breath and just kind of imagine looking around. And what do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear?
I'm walking on a wooden deck, seeing the birds, the waves, the palms, smelling the water. Yeah, and that means I'm not in the office. So yeah, we have a nice fruit bowl next to me, and yeah, and the neighbors are a bit far away.
Yeah. Now, I don't want anybody else to do this exercise while we're doing this, okay? I'm being facetious, of course. I want everybody to do this exercise. And Marina, what do you feel? And maybe even take it from now you're walking back inside the house, and what does it look like? Is it vaulted ceilings? Is it spacious? Do you have a beautiful kitchen? What does it look like on the inside? Just how does your home feel?
Spacious, very light, high ceilings, but most important, high windows, like everything glass, so that I can look outside into the green and I see either a pond or ocean. water is very important. So I'm not, it's not so good. So this is not where I'm now looking at. But I see my husband in a beautiful kitchen. He's a good, sorry. I have space. I have space, and what I really wish for, that I can book now, travel, whatever. I think business class would be very nice with family, that I can book it now, and that I can go there with a little suitcase, and that I can afford everything I need, and that I don't have to calculate if it's possible or not. For me, it's always the sense of freedom, the freedom that I have choices, and that I don't have to go back into the university or in the office and spend there until it's nighttime. That's my.
I'm really glad that you said freedom, because one thing that when you do this exercise with people, and I'm kind of just talking to everybody else now, when you do this exercise with people, a lot of people say, well, I want financial freedom, or I want $1 million, or whatever. That doesn't really mean anything until you actually drill down and drive and actually identify that. And you've already started to do that a little bit, but let's explore that just a little bit too. You've got a beautiful son, and I know it's about creating memories and experiences and being able to travel. You did mention travel. Where would you like to go? What are the experiences that and memories that you'd like to create with him together, or other family members?
Oh, where to go? The Mediterranean in summer. Visit the family, maybe a big family together. Boston was on the list.
Yeah, Boston for the PhD. Anyway, I would love to be able to rent out a big house where I can invite the family that we have together a holiday. So, but most place where I can go, like my friends in Scandinavia, we are. I don't see them very often. And this freedom that I can go there and meet them, and then going back to the Mediterranean where we have family too. So this would be very nice. For me, it's the flexibility, to be honest. It's not that I have to be there all the time. The flexibility, choices. I always come back to that.
Yeah, you know, we just had the opportunity to really live a lifetime fantasy, a dream that I had, which was to do really a first-class holiday. But in this case, we actually had Melissa's family come and enjoy a white Christmas because they're from Australia. And for a month, we traveled around and went to snowmobiling in West Yellowstone, spent Christmas in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, visited the canyons in Utah, and stayed in rented a really nice home in Sundance. And all that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for ASEA, because of the time, and of course it was the expenses to be able to do that. So creating memories is really amazing to be able to do that. Now, got one more question. Let's say you've got I've got a car parked right outside your place, and I give you the keys, and I'm handing you the keys, and there's a big red ribbon sitting on top, and you walk out the door. It's anything you dream or imagine it to be. What would you like it to be, Peter?
I have driven a Porsche, so I don't know. I think I had all these kind of cars in my former life when I had money. It's time to go back there. I think for me it would be a mobile home again, a big, spacious mobile home, luxurious. Because the sports cars he has driven too,
Yeah.
all kinds of cars. So we've been there. We need a home on the road.
Yeah.
A very big one, a supersize me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, I want you to just imagine, what does it look like? Does it have the pop outs that kind of come out and open it up, or,
Okay.
Every side, a big pop out, and even in the back. So
beautiful, beautiful. And what a great way to create some memories with your son, and be able to travel around, be able to work from wherever you want.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing. Now, and it's kind of fun to even just imagine. I've sat in those before, and the chairs just feel really good. It's like a captain's chair. Can you imagine sitting in it?
yes.
Yes.
And they have seats with massage function. So you just massage the back and the neck while you're driving. Oh, I love it.
If you just imagine how it smells, if it smells like home, probably smells new. That would be That'd be beautiful. And you know, if time and money wasn't an obstacle, and you could just, you know, you've been able to travel, you've got your home, you've got your vehicle, all your needs are met. If time and money wasn't an obstacle, and you could just give back to society. There's so many beautiful causes, things that you can do. Is there anything that's kind of near and dear to your heart where you could it'd just be great to be able to contribute to?
Yes, we have. We have already an NGO. We have already given a lot of money for that people can meditate, that they can, get some methods how to be less stressed in life. So we would like to support this, and we would like to offer houses for others too, and to give an inspiration for other people like my parents who have traditional businesses, who work very hard for it with all the tension, even if they are successful, but to inspire them that there's an easier life with more time for family, and still being able to create abundance for them and for others too. My parents are very charity orientated people. They give a lot. So, and I need to be a role model for that happy persons. Yeah, this would be nice to be an inspiration and to be able to give. Thank you.
And I have also one last wish. Once my ASEA business or our business started, I get all the good feedbacks from the clients and from everybody. And then I felt so grateful. And I wanted also that my Director 300s also have this feeling of really being grateful that you can really change things. See happy kids, see people getting better and better. And on top, you get a lot of money of it. So what else?
Win-win.
So that's a dream. Give me that pen, Bart.
How rewarding is that? I mean, and look, here's the thing that I want to tell you, and everybody else on this call too. If you're, this comes with a really big question too. So, if I just want to tell you that everything that you've told me that you would really like to have, if you could have anything within a ASEA business, I'm telling you right now, you can have all of that and more, a lot more. Because it's not only my experience, but it's the experience of so many friends of ours in ASEA, that if you're willing to do for 2 to 5 years what most people are not willing to do, you can have a lifestyle that most people only dream about. Now, what I mean by that, being willing to do for 2 to 5 years, what does that actually mean? It means being willing to have a vision, which, by the way, you just shared with me. It means being willing to help other people to create their vision, their why. It means being teachable. It means being a team player. It means talking with people and being willing to follow up. I'm not talking about anything that's complicated. I'm talking about some simple things, but some consistent effort with a real dream behind it and helping other people. So my big question, if you're willing to do for 2 to 5 years what most people aren't willing to do, to have a lifestyle that most people only dream about, is it worth it?
For me, of course, that's the biggest dream. That's everyday Christmas. So what else to expect?
Raina, is it worth it?
Absolutely, and we are committed. And
fantastic. Well,
trained
I want to just say welcome aboard. So,
yeah.
I would shake your hand right through the computer here, or how about a high five? Okay, welcome aboard. Now, by the way, this welcome aboard, when I say welcome aboard, I'm not saying that this is about us. This is what we're going to do together. This is how we're going to build together. We're working this as a team. So and that's what I want to do, is I want to make sure that we're on the same page, and I really believe that we are. So at this point in time, we could sit down and really nail down a strategy, nail down when you're going to do meetings, what your time commitment is to make this dream come true. And you know that I'm committed to do everything I can to help you to reach your goals and dreams as well. So thank you and congratulations. That welcome aboard is in fact the close. So with that in mind, I just wanted to summarize. So let me just come back here. So what we've done is we've gone through the foundation. So like I said, I kind of told you where I was going to go. I wanted to do this exercise, and then I wanted to kind of explain what we did again. So I laid out very clearly what the foundation, and I talked about 3 things: the integrity, the stability, and the timing of the company. You can certainly put these all in your own words. You don't have to have it scripted out into any particular way, but this is the feeling. And I think before people can really get to a place where they say, well, you know, this whole ASEA thing really looks intriguing. It looks kind of exciting, but I just don't know. You got to help them to step through that door and say, and to eliminate those questions and those concerns, because believe me, even if they're not thinking it consciously, they're thinking it subconsciously sometimes. Is this really the company that I can put my belief in? And the next thing is to let people know that you're committed. Now, by the way, when you say that you're committed, you're declaring that to yourself. You're saying, look, I don't care whether you jump in this with me or not. This could be for you or not. But you know, if you don't join me, there's there's billions of other people on this planet that I can talk to, and by gosh, I will. You know, so you're not being dependent. The other thing that you might notice is I said, I want you because. Now, people like to hear nice things about themselves, don't they? And so when you can, and did you notice, and by the way, Peter, how did it feel and Marina, when I shared why I'm excited about working with you? I said some very nice things. And by the way, I was completely sincere.
Connected.
Yeah.
I felt that it more connected, and so yeah, much more open, I think, than without.
Yeah. So when you lay that up, stop and think before you talk to somebody and say, why would this person really add value to my business? Why would I want to help them? Why would they want to help me? Why would we want to work together? You know, it might be because they have a great sense of humor. You like how they are with their family. You like their work ethic. We're fun to be around, fun to work together. People that you want to build a future with. You know, nail those things down and talk with them and let them know. Now, something else very clearly, I said, look, hey, we're doing this with or without you. Now, Peter, Marina, when I said that, does that evoke any kind of a feeling like, hey, we're doing it with or without you?
You are not dependent on us, and we have to be quick, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't need us, so you're not needy. This means you are in a position of more power.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little more being, than being like trying to hunt us.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Does it evoke a little bit of a feeling of fear of loss? Like, hey, I don't want to be left behind?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
I would miss out, yeah.
But it must be a good opportunity, and because when he will do it without me, so he doesn't rely on me, so maybe there's a good point in it.
If you're coming across desperate from people, and I almost think about kind of this push-pull exercise. If I was to push, your natural tendency would be to push back. But if I can kind of pull back and say, hey, I'm doing it with or without you, it's almost like drawing you more toward me. And the other thing it does is it builds an internal self-confidence that you absolutely know I'm not dependent on this person for whether I succeed or not. So when you're coming from a place of strength and not being needy, you actually will attract people to your business as opposed to literally repelling them by being pushy. You don't want to be pushy. Now, we talk about personality types. There's supporters, promoters, analyticals, and controllers. Almost forgot the last one. And there's different ways that people do personality grouping, but we all tend to have some of these, but also we tend to have a strength of one. So for example, a promoter, they're going to get involved with ASEA because of the fun. The parties, the ASEA convention, man, they're going to have the most outrageous costumes. Cindy is definitely a promoter. Would you agree with that, Cindy? Yeah, she's a promoter all the way. Best costume you'll see at any of the ASEA parties. Helping people, I would dare say that Marina is very much a supporter personality. She is very much about helping other people. And that would be her drive. And making money, that's the controller personality. Sometimes supporters and controllers can almost kind of butt heads with each other, because if you talk with a supporter about making lots of money, you know, if they're not kind of grounded and with certainty in themselves, they can, you know, that can almost be repulsive. But then again, if you talk with a controller that says, hey, show me the business, how do we make money with this? And you just say, hey, all we got to do is just help people. Don't worry about that. We'll just help people. It'll drive them crazy. So, so you might notice I said, look, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to help a lot of people and we can make a lot of money. I basically just covered all the bases that we're going to do all this. So I'm not sort of isolating them into one box. And then I said, hey, this may or may not be for you. You know, let me ask you some questions. and this is where we get into what's in it for you. And that's exactly, I'll ask. And that's why I brought out, now the reason I brought out this little, this silly little, magic wand or the pen with a little diamond top, or it doesn't matter, a pencil. All I'm doing is I'm using this as a tool to give people a license to dream a little bit. And I'll even say, look, this might seem a little bit silly. It might seem a little corny, but I want you to just pretend that you're 6 years old and, when life had no limits, because most people have just been kicked in the teeth too many times and they've forgotten how to dream. And so this is all about, I use that as a tool. And you want to dive into this a little bit. Just say, hey, let's just have some fun with this. Hey, if the sky was no limits, what would you want out of an ASEA business? And play with it. Where would you travel? Where would you go? What does that look like? Who would you bring? What would you like to do for your kids? How would you give back to society? Where would you like to live? What about the car that you'd like to drive? And it all comes down to this question right here. Now, this is very, very important, you guys. Is it worth it? If you're willing to do it for 2 to 5 years, what most people aren't willing to do, is it worth it? And this is about the delayed gratification, because sometimes in network marketing, you're going to do a lot of work that you may not get paid for very well in the beginning, but over time, you're going to get paid a lot for work that you didn't necessarily do because of the seeds that you planted. And when they say, yes, it is, that, by the way, is a very strong closing question. That's where it is welcome aboard. and again, you can use this conversation even at the beginning where you're talking about the integrity, the stability, the timing, the company, and where this is going, being able to help people make a difference. But you can take it to a much higher level by just what we did. So, so Peter and Marina, I'd really like to thank you for being the guinea pigs on our little call tonight. I'm sure I've gone way over time. Sorry, Cindy. But we can stop the recording.
Fantastic.
And,
we'll stop the recording. Hold on one second.